We're talking about universities and university funding and what the students are complaining about. There are many students. According to data, 113,105 students applied for funding through the universities fund. That's for scholarships. 10,528 were categorized as Band 1. That's the most needy. They received the highest government support. Band 2 has 11,393. Band 3 has 20,899. Over half of the students have been placed in Band 4, that's 37,764, and Band 5, 26,137. Now, over half of these students have been categorized as less needy and least needy in terms of, if you just look at it in nomenclature. That means over half of these 113,000 applicants have been categorized to be coming from households that have over 100,000 shillings per month as income. How many people earn over 100,000 shillings in this country? It is not over 50,000, and all 50,000 have first years applying for university. It's definitely not, right?
Yes.
Even if we were using KRA data, you'd be able to see that no. How many people actually pay their payee coming from that category of 100,000 shillings earners per month? How many? Not so many. You cannot then say that over 50%, over 50,000 of the applicants in this year who are applying to go to university and applying for scholarship have been categorized as people who are in that income category, in that income bracket. So what else is being used here? And that's what many of these students are complaining about. You're talking about a 19-year-old Gabriel Junior Wamalwa who's been admitted to Kisii University for a Bachelor of Education Arts degree. His father told the nation that his monthly earnings are slightly above 20,000, but his son has been placed at Band 4. He said that he has a daughter at the Kenya Medical Training College, a son in Form 1, and another in junior school. In Band 4, I will pay 42,000 shillings per semester for this student in university.
If you look at data that was presented by TIFA in 2023, only 3% of Kenyans earned more than 50,000 shillings.
That's you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So, if those are the figures that we're talking about, where on earth do you think that parents who we can see 3%?
Yep. Joshua Kemei from Chepkoyo village in Cherangani has been admitted to Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology to pursue a bachelor's degree in geomatic engineering and geospatial information systems. His parents do odd jobs in the village to earn a living. He has been placed in Band 2. I'm confused. I'm trying to raise money for a suitcase and shoes for my journey to Nairobi. My parents are very poor. At home, we have only 1 meal a day. That's what Kemei said during an interview. Shadrach Kisheunet from Muono in West Pokot County is supposed to join Bomet University College this week. He's been placed in Band 4. He has 60,000 shillings fee arrears at his former secondary school. But he has been placed in Band 4. I was unable to pay the fees, but my principal excused me and allowed me to pay later. The band that he's been placed in requires him to pay in excess of 40,000 shillings per semester. Emmanuel Omongolok from Namanjala, Kwanza sub-county in Trans Nzoia County, told the nation that he's been placed in Band 2 despite his parents being casual laborers. He's expected to join Moi University on August 26th to undertake a Bachelor of Education Arts degree. Veronica Sherrill has been admitted to Rongo University to pursue a Bachelor of Education course, and she was hoping to receive government funding to relieve her mother of the financial burden. She has found the going tough. There are very many of these cases. Now, of course, the university's fund, and we're told this by the CEO Monari, opens the portal for reapplication. So you say, okay, you can appeal. If you feel that you've been categorized in the wrong band, appeal. Sometimes also, the information that the students have supplied is also what is ending them in the category that they find themselves in.
Yes.
So there's a lot, and we have to say that this is highly possible. That because this is a new system, you're being told you need to apply online. Go online. Many, and we're told by Monari, many are going to a cyber and they're finding this one guy at the cyber. This one guy at the cyber just knows.
He has a template.
He has a template. So his ID, letter ID yako, put ID. All the other information, it's the same information that he's filling for every applicant. Because hana time.
He doesn't give it thought.
He's
you want
not,
the form filled?
Yeah,
He has filled
I'm
it.
filling it for you, the form. So as it goes to the university's fund, they're looking at what information you have given. And the information that you've given then places you in a certain band. So there's an element here of lack of information.
Or lack of knowledge, for that matter.
Lack of knowledge.
Yes.
There's also this other element of the means testing instrument actually not being good enough to actually tell the means where this, the student, the applicant is coming from. So there are all these matters that are. The bottom line is, you're supposed to report to university. This is where you've been categorized. The university expects you to pay this much, or else you drop out even before you start.
You know, brings us back to what the president was saying. So I take it what the president was saying, look, this matter clearly lacks clarification.
Yep.
Those of you involved, clarify it, please. Make it simpler for parents to understand. Because from everything I hear, the president must have heard those complaints as well. So my friend, this thing not working. He says, but I thought that's why we had that working group, to ensure it works. Why then is it not working? So guys, working group, please go over your notes again and find a way of simplifying this information so that it works. You know, it's all about systems. It's truly all about systems. At a time when there was just one university in this country and jobs came up begging and people could choose to go to university, not go to university, get a job, not get a job, that sort of thing. And then they had a system where the government actually gave everybody a scholarship. Everybody. See, that was never going to be tenable. It had to come to an end.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is there was time to plan for it because you could see the population.
You knew.
Yes, we did. And as the universities expanded, and we don't have a university that is empty. There's no university in this country which is empty. Okay? We knew that need was going to arise. What is it that happens in the ministry that deals with the planning and looking into our future and determining what is that needs to be done? What is it about the Ministry of Education, who have all manner of departments and offshoots that deal with such matters to ensure that all these needs that are in the future are thought of, categorized and taken care of, so that when they actually arrive, you have a plan for them. So that it's not when it happens, then you suddenly have either a working group or you have whatever it is that we call these fact-finding groups that go to figure out what is already known, whatever it is. The point is, if that amount of time is taken and we still have the problems that we're hearing, what then do we say went wrong? Because something did go wrong.
Something is not working somewhere.
No, it's not.
Yeah, something is not. There was clearly dropping of the ball in very many places.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So first, we are where we are. Yes, the government is broke. It doesn't have money.
Now
it cannot afford to actually do the proper amount of money that was paying previously for university students.
It can't.
Okay? And that also leads to what we've been seeing happening in terms of results. Because on the other hand, you cannot tell me that every year the only percentage that qualifies to get into that university entry is less than 20%. At most 22% every year. Out of 1 million students who sit their KCSE, less than 200,000 get the grade for university education.
Less than a fifth.
Yeah. There's something there. The last KCSE had over 50,000, was it 40,000 E's?
Yes.
Right? Was it 40,000? Yeah.
Yes.
Some bizarre figure of E's. What does that tell us about that education system?
Yes.
And then we've been seeing all these, even at 180,000. Let's just say 200,000 people will be needing to go into university and some TVETs every year. University and TVETs every year. We have not been ready for it. Now we are caught up with this situation where we're saying, okay, so let's remodel how we are financing it. I heard some university lecturers actually arguing and saying this thing will not work. The same university, the same government that was not able to send money to the universities for the other funding model, what was it called? Differentiated unit costs. If the same government was not able to send money for differentiated unit costs, it was actually sending less than half of what it was supposed to be sending. How sure are we that this same government can still find money to fund these scholarships?
You know, Eric, you actually got to the heart of the matter. Everything we're discussing.
Let's take Evans first, and then we'll get to the heart of the matter.
Yes.
Evans in Nairobi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good, Eric.
Karibu sana.
And Asante, I wish to say a few things about the funding model.
Please go ahead.
My input is that one, the entire task force report, the recommendation targeting on university education, was to protect the government from its inability to provide education. Why do I say so? Because looking at the economic situation currently in the country, it's very difficult for anyone to ascertain that whatever I was paying through KRA is what I'm earning currently. There are people who have already subjected their salaries to loans, and when I subject my salary to a loan, the KRA deduction is not effected as per the net pay I do receive. Thereby, if you follow records from KRA, then you're not going to be clear and be able to help that particular child. Secondly, even the citizens, they don't provide sufficient information and clear and correct information for the government to be able to ascertain the correct way of funding university education. It's a situation that is sad as a nation, but you've talked of private funding. The kind of funding from KCB, Equity brings to find, the kind of process they do, it's a very, very clear process that at the end of the day provides quality education and provides sufficient information for the bank to be able to sponsor needy students. So as for me, what I feel is it's important that the government relook at the funding model before we abandon very bright Kenyans who have worked so hard to go to the university in the name of a model that is not working. And I'm so certain that, again, those who have gotten even in the level band 1 that are so needy, there are few from this group, or there are quite a number of them, who have provided information that is not correct.
Yeah.
That is my input, Eric.
Thank you very much, Evans, and thank you for your call this morning. 0719 012 600. There's an issue about the university funding model and, the means testing instrument that's being deployed by the university's fund. Many are complaining that it's not working. We'd like to hear from you. Dennis in Nairobi, hello.
Yes, hello, how are you?
Very fine, thanks.
Yes, let us make education free in Kenya.
How so?
Let us collapse all these things called bursaries, scholarship, whether from public or private sources, and channel all these funds to education. Why should we have a bursary for the MCA, another one for the PENREP, another one for CGMP, governor, the president's scholar? Let us channel all these funds to education and spare our kids from this begging scenario. It is very shameful for our country. And just before I leave, you see, let me just advise Kenyans. We can only do this at the ballot. Let them elect the right people in office. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because William Ruto, look at I was reading his education manifesto. He's doing exactly what he told Kenyans. And Kenyans voted for him. So when they're crying, it is their mistake. So in 2027, let us vote for the right one, the right candidate with the right education manifesto.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you very much. Zachary in Kakamega, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Very fine, thanks.
Yes, I'm also fine. This morning, I'm really not delighted with this funding model. Some of us were educated through university through help, and it was better than I foresee a scenario where many students will not join university despite qualifying for it, while the agencies that are responsible keep throwing figures at us, telling us 80,000 have applied without ID. But for ground, it will be different. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much, Zachary. Yeah, there's many issues that are emerging here in City. You're saying It brings us to the heart of the matter.
Money. There hasn't been sufficient money to meet the needs of the universities, public universities as they're currently constituted, with the number of enrolled students as currently constituted. We then come up with a new model which scuttles everything. Scuttles in that it's new, so people are in the process of trying to get used to it and to understand it. Those who are in that particular sector, they are not only rumbles, but they are definitive industrial communications that they keep passing along with regards to whether they're going to go to work or not. And it's all about money. They're not getting paid on time, and they don't feel that the government is doing good by them. Now, these rumblings interfere with the learning process.
Yeah.
And yet you have a whole bunch of new students who are supposed to report, their parents who are supposed to take their children, and there's this lack of clarity. Are we saying that this absence of clarity could not have been sorted out long before the date when the admission of new students was nearing? Are we saying that matters that pertain to the pending bills and the pending salaries that certain people who work in public universities have could not have been sorted out? Now, if we say we don't have money, then with everything that we are saying, I have to ask the question, what did we need this new funding model for? What is this thing that it was going to do that the other one couldn't do?
What it's doing is that it's proper cost sharing, okay, in another name. What it's saying is that a majority of you shall now pay out of pocket. So it's clear that you shall pay out of pocket, and that the government then shall pay less. And that's why you will find that mostly probably is why this categorization works this way, that over 50% of the applicants are told you pay more. The government supports you less. So it's basically just introduced cost sharing and said, okay, so university, this thing of saying that all of you, the government shall pay up to this level. Okay.
It's a journey, and even as we say that the system has hiccups, it must have hiccups. But hiccups in a system is part of the learning process. The hiccups occur, as you address them, you are right-sizing the hiccup so that it actually becomes something that is workable.
Yep.
My question, when it works, will there be money for it? This is really the point. Even the money that has gone through the sieve, and we've categorized parents who are going to pay, are we going to have enough money for learning to take place in our universities? Because for a number of years now, we've had a problem.
Bottom line, what you're asking is, even if we just took what has basically been categorized now,
yes,
is all this money going to be available to the universities on time?
Yes.
Is all the money that's supposed to be coming from the exchequer going to the universities on time?
Yes.
Because if it doesn't, then you're still leaving the universities to struggle.
In a serious limbo, and at the heart of it is the learning process. You see, this really is the bane of our existence when it comes to whether it's secondary school education, primary school education. When we talk about monies that are supposed to go to schools, and there are pending bills there, it doesn't get worse than this. It means whatever it is the students were supposed to receive as their right to ensure that their learning is at an optimum is not there. So now we are carrying this over to the universities. This, in my mind, is a massive problem.
Some of the comments that are coming in, Frederick Courier says it's settling all kids with the crippling debt and a clear abdication of government responsibility to educate Kenyans. Someone else is saying that no, 600 billion shillings is actually more than enough to finance education, from basic education going all the way to higher education. 600 billion shillings every year in a budget. Surely, ni pesa mingi sana. Kennedy Mungai is correcting Dennis, who was Evans, who was our first caller, who was talking about, the relationship between your pay, your debt or your loan obligations, and the amount of money that you pay to carry. No, it's on your gross. The only thing that you do not get, that you get, credit for are maybe mortgage or insurance, life insurances. There are very many comments that are coming in here. Same time, parents who are not able but promptly pay the fees in time is because they don't want their children education disrupted. So there are many who are struggling to make sure that their children are in school. Manilal Gohil says, real free education, compulsory university program for all, Unless the youth are skilled and educated, there cannot be any development. Uniforms and books and one meal should be absolutely free. Keep the comments rolling on our Facebook and YouTube channels. It's news time, 8 a.m. More conversations coming up.
Spice up your life